Nuno, thank you very much. You moderated a panel for us about purpose and investment and looking for those other skills, other things that people have to offer. Tell us a little bit about something you really enjoyed learning or speaking about on stage today.
Well, I love the event as a whole. It's an amazing event. The women you have here are, phenomenal. They're really making the world a better place. That's what I'm passionate about too. So the panel wanted to highlight the secrets of how to get funding. How can women access venture funding and angel funding? So we touched upon, several topics. For example, the difference between green money and blue money. So when you're an entrepreneur or a startup and you want some money, if the investor gives you the money, is it enough? The investor brings way much more than just the money itself. So we call green money when it's money alone. When you go, for example, to a bank, it's only money. There's no relationship, but you have that money and have to do everything yourself. But creating a startup is hard, right? Very hard. Blue money is what the venture capital world might bring if you choose the right venture investor. So blue money is when the investor is not just someone that deploys the money, someone that brings network, mentorship, and helps you through the journey. So this is one example of something we spoke about on stage, and we gave a series of several secrets, but you need to come to the next Global Woman to learn about it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's so phenomenal to hear these things about investment. Women often go into businesses from their heart with the emotion, with the purpose, which is what we talked about today. But actually knowing the steps to make a business viable, to make it saleable is so important. And I think some of those are the things that you shared today. But what I love about you, Nuno, is your energy. I've seen you walking around and I can almost feel you coming into the room. Tell me a little bit about how important that energy is. We talked about a cash machine versus a venture capitalist who's going to give you the support, but actually, where does energy play a part in all of this?
I think it does. When you love something, that energy flows naturally, right? So that's why we spoke at the panel about finding your why. So you start your journey as an entrepreneur, first finding your why. What do you love doing? Why do you want to do this? Right? If you're really passionate about, if you love this, if you love the challenge you want to solve or the problem you want to solve in society, and you're starting a startup to solve it, then the energy flows because you're passionate about what you're talking about. And the venture investor or the investor, they see that passion, right? You feel it. It's all about relationships, right? So the investor, and Fernando Aires was highlighting that, Yata also, Avnish, the other panelist, and Sophia Brown, they all said, you know what? We invest in the person, first of all. Of course, the money needs to be reasonable, right? And it has to be sustainable and so forth. But it's mostly about the entrepreneur, the person. So it's really, the purpose is critical.
People invest in people.
People invest in people.
And energy, I think, is a big part of that, right?
Exactly.
And
how much love.
Global Woman, I think, is a big kind of energy giver, creator. People in the room are all so full of energy. They're hungry, as you said. They're wanting to learn. Let's talk a little bit about our brilliant leader, Mirella, because I think she actually kind of epitomizes everything that you've just said. She knows exactly what she's doing. In my world, we talk about alignment. She's so aligned to her mission. What is your relationship with Mirella, and what brings you to Global Woman, and what will have you coming back?
I love Mirella. Mirella, everybody does. And the reason why is because Mirella is, in heart, a great person. She's amazing, honestly. She wants to empower other women. And, she did her journey. And when she was successful, she said, what can I do with success? I want to empower other people. What more, amazing mission can you have in life than just empower other people, right? And you see on her heart, you see the energy, you see the love she has for every single woman here, right? Not just every single woman here, but all the women in the community globally. So she was, for example, talking about, a time where she was so busy, obviously. She has so many women. And one of these women was asking her, can I have 5 minutes? And she couldn't. She didn't have the time. But then in the end of the day, she ended up, spending 5 minutes with her when it was possible. And she brought her on stage, and she helped her, advertise and show the work she's doing. So you see in Mirella the kind of love we were talking about. Like, she loves empowering other women. And that's why this community is so unique. It's so special. It's very rare that you find this love for each other, and you see the love growing because, the leader, Mirella, is, the big example of it, right? And you learn by example. That's it.
Absolutely. I think she does epitomize love in the end. Actually, her heart is on the outside. Everything is on the outside. You see what you see is what you get. And that's amazing. So will you come back next year, Nuno? I know you do a lot of stuff as well outside of this to help us and to support us in this community, which we're so grateful for. You're a phenomenal presence and so much great energy, but hopefully you'll come back, yeah? And tell us, why would you invite somebody else to come here?
Well, my agenda is really, really busy. But I will make sure that my assistant gets me this spot for next year and the other years if Mirella wants me. And the reason why is this. My time is my most precious asset. I think for every single one of us, right? It is. It's our time is the most precious asset we have. I want to spend it in the places where I can have the biggest impact. And this community is really unique. Second, I love empowering women because if you want to make the world a better place, you need to start empowering women. That's how you can have the biggest impact. And studies report that, several studies report that we need more women in positions of power, in companies and governments. So we need to empower more women. And, Global Women Summit is the best summit I've seen and I've experienced as, having this kind of impact I want to be connected with.
Oh, thank you so much. That's such a great way to end. I've been here for 10 years. I've known Mirella for 10 years as well. And I know, I have to say, on the circuit, this is my favorite event. And now I'm just so grateful that people like you are here also on these stages. So thank you so much, Dr. Nuno.
It was a pleasure.